right, Coach. It's what you play basketball for to hit finals time. That's been a pretty nice feeling around the group at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, we're happy to get through the 8 or 9 days that we've kind of just managed our guys, and the good news is Drimmick's made it through the last couple of days, so we'll still have to manage his minutes, but that'll give us 9 going into the game, and we'll be careful with him.
Yeah, how did you handle the fever, the break, I guess? A lot to go back training in the break?
Yeah, we were just in short bursts as much as we could. We did some stuff down on the beach just for conditioning stuff, but we just had to be super careful. You know, we haven't had a lot of 5-on-5 reps, and it is concerning getting a rhythm and playing in that kind of situation, but, you know, how far do you want to push it to actually get another injury? So we tried to do the best we can, and our guys are in good spirits, and we'll be ready to go.
What does that look like when you hit the floor Thursday night? Then I guess when you haven't done the amount of practice you typically would, how do you expect the boys to go out there?
Well, hopefully they can manage themselves, obviously, on the court, and we've talked about, you know, some of that. But ultimately, you know, the nerves and excitement of playing will hopefully carry over some of that adrenaline, and hopefully these guys have done the extra work. We've asked them to do some extra work after, like a day-to-day, to go ride the bike or do something else. So hopefully they've been pretty diligent in that area.
You obviously had an injury situation, but you wouldn't be scared about going to John Cain Arena, I guess. It's a venue you've had a lot of success at before, and a team you've had a lot of success at.
Well, I mean, I've never been scared to go anywhere since I've been 16 years old to go play a game of basketball. It's not life or death. I'd be scared if I was going to war or running a country or doing something like that. We're just going there for entertainment, but I've never been scared to play a basketball game, and our guys, I'm sure, don't feel that, whether we're in John Cain or somewhere else. So we'll put our best foot forward. We'll swing as hard as we can, but I don't think scared is actually probably the word, probably more just excitement.
What about Melbourne themselves? Obviously started here, went down, and sort of got their form back and heading towards the finals. What do you make of their season, and what do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, they can win it all. They're good enough to win it all. They got a wonderful coach, and they've been perennially in the same spots every year, roughly. So they got a great group of players over there. We're going to have to be obviously on point. We don't have much room for error, but we still feel like we can go in there and cause some problems.
Now you're the master coach, you got something up your sleeve for Thursday night to try and change the way you play, or anything like that, given the injuries you have?
Well, I think the master coach thing is quite overrated. And again, I rely heavily on my assistant coaches, so we're just going to do what we do and go out there and grind away, and we'll see how it goes.
Bailey Milk coming off the bench for them. Was that a surprise to you?
You know, they're doing what's best for their roster. Dean's going to make the moves that he thinks is best for their team and where they're at. And again, you know, Milk might come off the bench, but he's going to play 25 or 30 minutes. So it's not who starts, it's who finishes, actually. It's more important.
And what about ask about Claudia coming on board as the Jules coach? She said she'd already spoken to you a little bit before she landed the job. Can you tell us what you think of the appointment?
Yeah, I think, you know, I was part of the interview process with her and had some conversations with her. And I think the big thing that, you know, the takeaway was her passion about building something from scratch again. And this is the place that's going to need that again. And at the women's level, she did that in Townsville with the group she had in the beginning, which has obviously carried over very well for them, winning another championship last night. So she's kind of a foundational piece for there, and I think here she'll hit the ground running, and with the environment that we've already created, hopefully her transition's really easy.
What's going to be like having a whole new team alongside you now, I guess, when you're moving to the high performance center? It's just been you guys for so long, it's going to be an adjustment.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole thing's going to be an adjustment just for front office and everyone moving into this building, and how we unpack that over the course of time, well before the season actually starts, and the flow of traffic and front office and the whole thing being under one building. So there's a lot of work to be done over there in that whole process of what that looks like, and territorially where people are going and can't go, and we'll work that out as we go.
Just on the finals more broadly, if you can manage to get the win on Thursday night, how deep can you go with the injuries? I guess you are battling.
Well, I mean, we're just worried about one night, and then if we're fortunate enough to do the right things and we get another night, we'll just worry about that night. But our players are in really good mindset. They've done a hell of a job here the last 6 weeks to actually put themselves in this position. We're not apologizing for finishing sixth and not maybe have a little bit of a depleted roster. These guys have earned their weight, and they have the opportunity to go one more time.
Jake, you're up.
Well, I think that's just a narrative that the press is going to want to use and kind of rally around. I think we've lost that label years ago of what it looked like when we first initially got into the league. But the press will make whatever they want to make of it. We don't feel like we're underdogs. We feel like we're going in there to win a game that we're capable of doing.
Tiger, as I said to Scott, this is when you play basketball for to feature in the final series, I guess. How are the boys feeling heading into Thursday night?
We feel good. You know, we've been practicing really hard this break we've had in between games, just trying to keep our shape up, and we'll be ready on when we go out there to play.
Is the break come at a good time for you, I guess, or does it take a bit of momentum out into the finals?
You know, I don't really know. This is my first year making it to the postseason in my professional career, so most of this stuff is new for me. So I'm really just super excited to get down there and play and hopefully extend our season.
What's that mean to you then to feature in the postseason for the first time?
It means a lot, you know, considering all the injuries we've had this year and guys stepping up with guys being out, and you know, it means everything. This is why like you said, this is why you come to play basketball, to make it to the postseason and hopefully try to get some hardware.
Obviously had some success at John Cain Arena in the past as a whole, the organisation. How are you feeling heading in there to take on United?
Just super excited. I can't really explain too much, but I'm not really worried about our past games there. We have a different team coming in there. You know, we know they'll be ready. They're at home. They need this one just as much as we need it. So just trying to focus on us right now and every day at practice.
What have you done well against them through the season, and what do you need to tidy up?
I think we need to be better in transition defense against them. You know, they're really electric in the open court. They have some really good guards that get downhill, and of course their bigs run the court very well and play very hard. So we just want to do better on defensive trans, and then we're just going to try to rebound, you know, try to box. They got some big guys over there, so we're just going to try to come out as hard as we can and fight for as long as we can.
Almost to the end of your first season, have you enjoyed your time in the NBL?
It's been great. You know, of course, like I said, our season's been up and down. It would be good to have a couple more guys here right now, but for the most part, like I said, it's my first postseason, so I'm just taking it one day at a time. I'm super excited, so I felt really good. I really like it here, so see where it goes.
And even with the injuries you've got, is there still a real belief in the group that you can sort of progress through this final again, mate?
Of course. I don't think at any point we've wavered. It's kind of like what I said, it's just the next guy up. So it's going to be a lot of guys that have a lot of things asked of them, and we just got to go out and play as hard as we can.
Do you feel like you need to slow the game right down this on Thursday night? Is that part of the plan, do you think?
What do you mean?
Just like use the maximum shot clock, things like that, and just slow the game right down and get on your turn.
I mean, with a team that plays as good in transition as them, of course you want to slow it down sometimes, but you know, we want to play. We're really good in transition as well, so we want to play up and down and fast, and you know, yep.